favor?
Aye.
All right, so next is board comments. The next would be public comments. We have anyone sign up, so okay, we'll move on through. So the next, the fun part, recognition for the Wildcat recipients.
Good evening. Our staff at 96 Primary School has the opportunity each month to vote on and recognize a Teacher of the Month and a Staff Member of the Month. The character word that we chose for March is focus and self-control. Our Teacher of the Month is Miss Terry Parkman. She had a prior engagement tonight, so she was unable to attend. Ms. Parkman teaches second grade for us at 96 Primary School. She has blessed students in our community as their first or second grade teacher for many years. Ms. Parkman is always positive, she's always smiling and caring. She is the calm that many of our little ones need during a school day. It is evident that she wants the best for her students and has always been an active and constant learner to make sure that this happens. Even knowing that this school year would be her last, she has still worked hard to learn and actively utilize our letters training and the fundamental strategies that we have learned throughout this training this year. It is not easy to replace a teacher like Ms. Parkman that has given so many years and so much love to our district. We're very thankful for all that Ms. Parkman has done to make 96 Primary School a better place. Our staff member of the month is Ms. Doobie Terry. She also was unable to attend tonight. She had grandmother duties. Ms. Terry is a kindergarten teacher assistant at 96 Primary School. She is such a hard worker and seems to never stop. Anytime you walk through Ms. Bird's classroom, you always see two small groups in action. Ms. Terry provides interventions daily for our students who need extra support. She's always thinking of our students and how to best serve them. Ms. Terry assists Ms. Bird with consistency each day, which is one of the reasons their class is usually one of the top performing classes when you look at academic data for our kindergarten team. Ms. Terry is known for her nurturing personality and uses this trait best for students who others may consider just a wee bit challenging. She builds special relationships with those students who truly need her love and support. We appreciate all that Ms. Terry does for our students to help them learn and grow. Thank you.
Good evening. At 96 Elementary, we have adopted life traits that coincide with the profile of a South Carolina graduate. Each month, we recognize students and staff members who exhibit life traits that set our school up for success. This month, our life trait was kindness. This month, our staff nominated Carrie Gambrell as our Teacher of the Month. Ms. Gambrell has a heart for learning and seeing students thrive. Ms. Gambrell joined the NSES family this year after being in a neighboring district for 11 years. She is currently serving students in a dual role as our interventionist and our gifted and talented teacher. She has quickly adapted to both roles and is making a significant impact with the students she serves. Ms. Gambrell has a remarkable ability to make everyone around her feel seen and valued, regardless of the situation. Whether she is helping a colleague with a challenging project, offering encouragement to someone who is struggling, or simply listening when students need someone to talk to, Ms. Gambrell consistently demonstrates the power of kindness in action. Her positive attitude, warm smile, and willingness to lend a hand make her a true asset to our school community. In our fast-paced world, it is easy to overlook the importance of kindness, but thanks to Ms. Gambrell, we're reminded daily that kindness is a conscious choice. Her actions are making a lasting impact on both our school's climate and the lives entrusted in her care. Thank you, Ms. Gambrell, for everything that you do to make our school a better place. Being support staff member of the month. Mr. Ben is a true hero in every sense. His warm smile and willingness to help both students and teachers make him a beloved figure in our school community. He plays an integral role in shaping our school culture, ensuring that our environment is not only clean, but also welcoming and cheerful. The students adore Mr. Ben. He has a natural gift for entertaining and engaging them. His enthusiasm shines through as he participates in various activities, making every event more special. A year ago, Mr. Ben took a brief hiatus from work, but it was clear how much he was missed. I vividly remember one day when he visited the school during that time. As he entered the building, his presence was electric, and the joy from the faculty and staff was palpable. When he made his way to the cafeteria, the room erupted with cheers and applause. "Mr. Ben," echoed through the halls. I turned to Miss Kiss and remarked, "That's Mr. Ben's welcoming squad." It was a moment that perfectly captured the love and respect everyone has for him. Mr. Ben is much more than just a person who keeps our building clean. He is intentional in making positive impacts on the lives of everyone he encounters. We are incredibly fortunate to have him as part of our team, and we celebrate his unwavering kindness and dedication. Thank you, Mr. Ben, for all that you do. And Mr. Schoolfeld, he said that he wanted a meal as well.
This month's word for Edgewood Middle School is diligence. Diligent or being diligent means having show or care of conscientiousness in one's work or duties. The candidates that are here tonight or recognized have shown diligence this year in their job descriptions and their tasks. Their attention to detail and willingness to perform their daily duties have improved our school this year. Our first one goes out to support staff. Q. My man, come on up. I don't know if you knew he was going up. So, although our teachers and students have been the forefront image of success in the past, everybody looks at test scores and how everything's going at our school. I don't think these accolades could be accomplished without the hours of supervision that Q and his team and the overtime hours that they have put in to make our schools complete. During the great hurricane debacle of 2024, Q's team had to get all the floors done in the building, in our building, as well as getting the rest of the schools clean and ready for fall break. However, there was a big problem. Nobody had power for the next 6 or 7 days. So not having power for a week really put him and his team behind. They ended up coming in working day, nights, working or weekends just to get our floors and everything done for us ready to return. I told him that he really messed up this time because now he showed us that they could get it all done in a week instead of 2 weeks. We are so thankful for his ability to jump in and get the job done and manage his staff that he has. They do a great job in our buildings. So thank you, Q, for you and your team and always providing a clean environment for our students and teachers.
Jason, Q, y'all turn around. Thank you.
Good job.
Next award goes to our teacher, Miss Lawrence. Miss Lawrence, she is much more than a course teacher. Her skills go way beyond the classroom, and she has provided us this year with a great deal of help with doing this semester with helping us with observations, helping us with lesson plan checks, kind of check in with lesson plans and other duties that we've assigned her around the school. Anytime we ask Ms. Lawrence to do something, she's always like, "Yep, I got it. I'll be glad to take care of it." So that's a tremendous help. Her core students have shown us that if we can actually get the middle school kids to sing, they actually really enjoy it as well. Her willingness to jump in and help with anything around the school does not go unnoticed. She is a team player, and she is a great asset to have in our building. Although these qualities are excellent, one of her best talents is that she makes the best fried pork belly that I've ever had. So I don't know if y'all have ever had fried pork belly, but it is absolutely amazing. So we are thankful for everything that she does and all that she helps out with our school. So to that,
Determination is the quality of being steadfast and persistent in pursuing goals despite challenges or obstacles. It involves staying focused, working hard, and not giving up even when things get tough. Determination is about having the inner strength to push through setbacks, maintain a positive attitude, and keep moving forward towards achieving one's objectives. In a high school setting, determination is especially important because it plays a crucial role in academic success, personal growth, and the development of life skills. High school students often face a variety of challenges from rigorous coursework to balancing extracurricular activities and personal responsibilities. Determination helps students stay committed to their studies, persevere through difficult assignments or projects, and stay motivated even when they encounter failure or frustration. Our Teacher of the Month, selected by students, faculty, and staff at 96 High School, is Sonia Martinez. Ms. Martinez could not be with us tonight, but Ms. Martinez exemplifies the trait of determination in everything she does. Known as the world traveler at 96 High School, she constantly seeks new experiences and challenges, traveling to unique destinations during breaks and weekends. Her passion for learning about new cultures is reflected in the way she integrates her travel experiences into her Spanish classroom every day. Ms. Martinez's determination to make learning Spanish both fun and meaningful drives her to constantly explore innovative teaching methods. She blends academic rigor with engaging activities, ensuring that students not only learn the language, but also a deeper appreciation for the culture behind it. Through projects, videos, discussion, and hands-on experiences, she strives to provide her students with an authentic learning experience. Her determination to create opportunities for her students has also led to the establishment of the Spanish Honor Society and the Spanish Club, where students can deepen their love for the language and culture. This commitment has directly influenced student engagement, sparking a significant increase in the number of students pursuing dual enrollment classes at Lander University and Piedmont Technical College. Ms. Martinez's unwavering determination to empower her students to pursue their passions, reach their goals, and chase their dreams makes her a standout educator and a source of excellence at 96 High School. Our support staff of the month, who could not be here today also, as selected by the faculty and staff at 96 High School, is Paulette Williams. Ms. Paulette is a vital member of our cafeteria team, and her determination to meet the needs of every student, faculty, and staff member is unmatched. She ensures that everyone is well taken care of during breakfast and lunch, always going above and beyond to make each experience positive. With a warm smile and words of encouragement, Ms. Paulette greets everyone who walks through the door. She is direct and honest, but everyone knows it's because she genuinely cares about them and takes pride in her work. Her determination to create a welcoming and supportive atmosphere means that no one leaves her station without feeling valued. Ms. Paulette's determination to be the best she can be serves as a model for others, and she consistently encourages students to do the same. She has a unique ability to connect with others, and no one is ever a stranger to her. If you're having a tough day, Ms. Paulette is there to brighten it with her positive attitude and unwavering support. Her determination to make a difference in the lives of those around her is felt by all, and she truly enhances the spirit of 96 High School.
Okay, sounds great. So next on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Beth Taylor.
Thank you, Dr. Green, and congratulations for our Wildcat recipients. We appreciate all you do for our students. Thank you. At this time, I'm asking that the board reviews their packet and looks at the field trips and professional leave requests and fundraiser requests. We have several. I do not believe we have an overnight one in the packet. I don't think so.
See it.
All right, any questions or concerns?
We're good.
Okay.
All right, and then a parenting report. It's on page 34 and 35. concerns about the parenting report? All right, and then at this time, I'd like to invite Ms. McConaughey to the front for a presentation on the 25-26 math textbook adoptions.
Hello, everybody. I have a quick presentation on our upcoming adoption for our math textbooks. Next year, we are rolling out new standards in the math world, and there are some quite significant changes that are happening, so it was really great to have a lot of people involved in the process of making the decisions so that we had a lot of buy-in. First off, the South Carolina instructional materials adoption. The State Board of Education is responsible for the adoption of our instructional materials to be used for our instruction. They're specific to subject area. They coincide with the review and the appropriate South Carolina standards. And we are typically on a 6-year cycle when we adopt new textbooks. They form an advisory committee that consists of public school teachers, administrators, and representatives in the academic area, and they advise the committee with annual recommendations for our textbooks. According to South Carolina, when we consider high-quality instructional materials, these are the criteria that we look at, that they are aligned with the South Carolina standards, they're on grade level instruction, they're designed according to learning science, and include a comprehensive instructional program, and reviewed and validated for high quality. So this was our timeline. In December, the State Department formed a committee selection for textbooks. In January, they released that instructional material list for adoption, so we were able to start getting samples from textbook companies and being able to look at some of those choices that we had before we went to our caravans. So in February, we were able to take a grade level representative from each grade level to our textbook caravans to review these materials and hear the presentations from the textbook companies so that we can make a good decision. When we came back from that, we met and provided our recommendations to Mr. Schofield and Dr. Taylor, who had then approved our materials, and we're here today to present it to the board. This is just a list of who we had as part of our team. So again, we had someone from every grade level, and we were fortunate enough to bring all of our high school teachers because high school is having the biggest change in these standards rollout. So that was a really big key, and I thank Mr. Schofield and Dr. Taylor for allowing us to take all of them out of the building for that day to be able to review these materials. And then we have our recommendations. So for primary, elementary, and middle, we actually decided on Envision Mathematics by Savas. So kids from kindergarten through 8th grade are gonna have the same textbook, same resources all the way throughout. So that's very helpful for our teachers and our students, to have that system in place. And then we were even luckier to get the majority of our high school classes on the same platform as well. So the majority of our classes in kindergarten through 12th grade will be going with Savas, or some people may know them as Pearson. That is the company. With the other two books that are there for pre-calc and calc, and the new class that is applications and modeling, we didn't get choices in those. They were the only ones that made the list, so we didn't really get to pick from that. We had to take those ones. And just a quick kind of overview of what comes with this. I know this says like 3.5 in some places, but kindergarten through 8th grade get all the same materials. So they each get a volume 1 and volume 2 edition for 6 years in print. They get 6 years of the digital access to the program and all the resources that they have online. They have teacher editions for each of those grade levels, along with language support. And centers kits, they get physical manipulatives delivered to the classroom as well as digital manipulatives with their program as well. And that is all included in the adoption. There's no extra cost for any of this stuff that is coming with our adoption. They also get standards practice workbooks for grades 3 through 8 to help them prepare for SC Ready. And they provide 24/7 on-demand resources for training, videos, and tutorials that teachers have access to, and that is for the 6-year length of our adoption process. For high school, there's really not much difference in terms of what they get. They just get a hardback version instead of a paperback version. They get the 6 years of digital access on the platform, they get the teacher's editions, and they get a standards workbook for Algebra 1 and Geometry. Geometry is now coming before Algebra 1, so they're providing that practice for Geometry and Algebra 1, so when they get to the EOC and Algebra 1, they've had kind of 2 years of practice with some of those standards to help them prepare for that. They get a student companion workbook in print, and everything that is in print is also available on the digital platform. So we can access these things anywhere at any time, in any format. And we get our 6 years of online training and videos along with that as well. Our next step, if you approve the recommended selections, the timeline comes out below. Our materials will be reported to the Department of Education by April 4th. On Thursday, April 17th, from 4 to 6 p.m., we're going to hold a parent night for instructional materials review at 96 High School. And the 24th through the 11th is our pre-order material, and as long as we order before April 4th, we will have our orders before the start of next school year. So that is all I have for everyone here. Does anyone have any questions?
I just got one question.
Yes.
The parent night for instructional materials review, what kind of participation do you have out of that?
In terms of how many parents
Is that
come?
something that was required, or is that
It's-
something that?
It's
that-
something the state requires us
Okay.
to do, so we do it. I think ELA only had less than 5 parents come,
Okay.
but
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
just curious.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are seeking a motion to adopt the materials. The board has to approve our selection.
Okay, I make a motion to adopt the materials as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McConaughey.
So next up on the agenda is finance. Mr. Mackey.
Good evening, everyone. I know this isn't exactly the order on the agenda, but I'd like to start with the capital projects update because our monthly financial update ties nicely in with our budget update as well. So if no one has any objections, we'll start with capital projects. The door access controls at the 96 primary school are virtually complete. I think there was 1 or 2 doors that we were still working on getting tied in. The access controls at the elementary school, that work is scheduled to be done over the spring break. The additional cameras we're adding throughout the district are in process. We're just waiting on materials. Our classroom furniture at the primary school and elementary school, we're waiting on a budget number from Harold Office Supplies, the company, pricing on that to see if the extensive wish list of the primary and elementary school is doable or not. And then we will scale back if we need to from there. The track resurfacing, we had bids submitted February 28th. We had 6 different bids. We're currently in the process of going through those to determine low bid, who was responsible, who gave us the information we needed. Good news there is all 6 of those are actually came in under the sort of the budget number we had for it. So that's always good news to come under budget. The water heater at the boiler at the high school, that will be replaced over spring break. And the projector at the high school will also be finished over spring break as well. So we've got a lot of moving pieces that should be wrapping up hopefully pretty soon. Are there any questions on capital projects? All right, I'll move on to our monthly financial update. I know in your board packet, the revenue number I have for you guys as of February 28th was $9.3 million. Of course, as it works, the county sends an adjustment for January immediately after I submit my board report, or a few days after, with some additional January revenue. So that number is actually a little bit more than $10 million as of February 28th, not including our February tax reports. We've not received those yet. So our revenue is about $10 million. Our expenses are about $9.7 million. If you project our expenses out as I've mentioned every month, our expenses are trending to come in under budget, which is again exactly good news for me at least, as the finance person. But we did not get the best of news from the county related to our revenue regarding the tax revenue loss from the closure of Fujifilm. If you recall, around this time last year, the expectation was that we would lose about $400,000 in revenue from Fuji's closing. Fuji had told the county that they were going to sort of scale their closing was going to be done in sort of shifts, and we would lose a little bit each year, and turns out they actually closed down a lot more than the county or us anticipated. We do not know the exact amount of that revenue loss at the moment, but it does appear that it's going to be more than we budgeted for. The good news is we're extremely financially healthy right now. Our fund balance is about $6.4 million. That's $2.5 million over our 25% floor that our board policy sets. So we're positioned in a way to where we will be fine for this year. We have no concerns for the current fiscal year, but because of this development with Fuji and then with the SIN closing next year, we do have some concerns with our revenue going forward. Because we're so financially stable, we have some flexibility, some different options that we can look at to budget for next year. But it's going to take some time to go through everything, so we'd like to get a budget workshop scheduled to where we can really dig into some of these details and figure out exactly how we want to approach this, which I know we're working on finding a time and date for that. And then, like I said, this ties nicely in with the budget update I included for you guys. The legislative update, the governor requested a $3,000 raise for all teachers and $200 million to be allocated by the House and Senate, which was exactly what the state superintendent requested as well. Historically, what the governor, in the last few years at least, whatever the governor has requested, the House and Senate have just rolled with that. This year they did not. The House budget only gave a increase of $1,500 to teachers, and they put in $112 million to the pot as opposed to $200 million. They're debating that right now in the House, and then it goes to the Senate, and then it goes back to the House. So that number is probably going to change a lot. But it is an interesting wrinkle for us to keep an eye on this year, that there are some differences between what the governor requested and what the legislature seems to want to do. One key point for the employees in the building, they are increasing the employee portion of health insurance premiums for the first time since 2012. So on the standard plan, that's about $36.76 per month. So your insurance premiums will go up next year. And then the employer portion of the retiree insurance premium is going to increase by 4.6%. The district's goals and priorities for our budget, obviously, we will do whatever the state requires in terms of the teacher salary increases. In previous years, we've tried to not just give that increase to our teachers that the state has dictated, but we've tried to give at least a little something to all employees. We will try to do that again this year, as well as giving everyone a step increase on the salary scale. But as I mentioned, we do have some revenue challenges for next year and going forward with Fuji and Ascend. And then also our enrollment is declining, and the state allocation, the main driver of how much money you get is enrollment. So because we have those challenges, again, we'd really like to schedule a budget workshop to walk through some of our options. Are there any questions on the monthly finances or the budget update?
No, I appreciate you presenting it. I guess I just, a few little comments here. I know you all have seen them, but anyway, it just, Greenwood County is really putting us under the, giving it to us right here, right at the very end, and suddenly, just to decide how much money they're giving us and not. So, fortunately, we've been good stewards of our finances, and we're under budget every year. We've been able to move money over to the general fund, and that's been a great thing. That's the credit of you, Mr. Mackey, and the good decisions the board's made. But I guess this, and I'm not sure how familiar, but a lot of this comes basically from the Lake Greenwood Development District, okay? And not sure how familiar you are with that, but basically Lake Greenwood Development District includes not necessarily the lake side, but it's a good bit back from the lake. We had looked at this, our attorney had looked at it probably 3 to 4 years ago, maybe, I think. He had looked at it and because it's a funding formula. You might think, okay, I live in district, we live in District 52. All your tax dollars, if you live near the lake, may or may not go to the 96 school district. I was surprised to find out, when I saw that little map, I said, only some percentage of my tax dollars are going to the 96 schools. Some percentage of my tax dollars are going to the, to the county, who then decides how to distribute that. And it just sort of, I can understand the industry. I can understand Fuji, I can understand that. But it also includes primary residences of kids that we educate. And it really kind of got me, because I said, boy, and what percentage that is, I don't know. Our attorney wasn't able to get at that 3 or 4 years ago. He talked to the county. The formula is apparently fairly murky. How much comes to District 50, how much comes to District 52, how much comes to District 51. I just would like to have some, clarity on this. What up? It sort of seems, they can suddenly hear 2 months before make our budget decide, this much money, sure. It just, and it just kind of hit me when I saw, my house. Okay, Fuji, Capsule Jail, fine. But a lot of the lakeside subdivisions are all on this, and I said, the county, our district did not educate 50% of my child or 20% of my child. They educated 100% of my child, okay? So why shouldn't I, when the house I'm living in, the property taxes I'm paying, why didn't 100% of that go to our district, And I don't know, and when the attorney looked at it, as far as I recall, that there was only 1 to 2 districts in the entire state of South Carolina, 1 or 2 counties in the whole state of South Carolina that did it this way, okay? I don't know, that just, so I would ask for a motion to ask Dr. Taylor and Mr. Mackey to try to investigate this further, whether it be a talk with the lawyer again, talk with the county council, and just, we need to have some clarity on this, because, they're just really putting us under the gun here to just, drop this on us. And I know we're gonna be judicious in the way we're spending the money, and we're gonna do all those things, but to just, kind of jerk our chain like this is just, I don't know. I just, and if they can give us you get, 32%, and then the district, 50 gets 43%. That's fine. Give me a number, but they apparently have never been willing or able to produce that.
Yeah, I make a motion that we investigate that a little further, so hopefully we get some of the more concrete answers as opposed to the the murkiness that we have.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All in favor?
I do have a question. When you mentioned that the enrollment is declining, what are you referring enrollment for?
Just our average daily membership. So they take your average daily membership, and then each student has a weighting. So like if you're just a standard, I don't want to say normal student. Okay. If you're just a standard student, you get a weighting of 1. If you're in special education, you get a 2.6. And there's some more weightings.
Okay.
And then they calculate a weighted pupil unit, and that's how they allocate. They take our weighted pupil unit, compare it to the statewide weighted pupil unit, and whatever that percentage is the percentage you get of the state allocation. And so our average daily membership has gone down the last couple of years, and so therefore our weighted pupil units number gets smaller. And so our percentage of the state allocation will continue to mirror our enrollment. Now, typically the states put in more money to the allocation than they have in previous years, so we get more money from the state every year. But if there's a year, like this year they're putting in $112 million. If that stands, last year they put $200 million in. So if they're putting less money into the education pot and our enrollment numbers getting smaller, our state allocation will then get smaller as well. It's just something to monitor. I mean, it's not to the point yet where, we need to do anything drastic, but knowing that a big chunk of our money matches our enrollment, we need to make decisions based on our enrollment.
And that's a trend throughout the state, with all the options that people have now, with the homeschooling and the charter schools and.
Yeah, I think a lot of it goes to charter schools, and if you go to a brick and mortar charter school, that kid is weighted as a 1.25. They say that's because they don't have any local tax revenue. But they also, getting in the weeds here, but our weighted pupil units spits out a percentage of the state allocation, and then they look at our local tax base and adjust it down further to where they say, oh, you can provide 40% of this number, so we're only gonna give you 60%. So they give you an appropriation, and then they adjust it based on your local revenue. Charter schools don't have local revenue, so whatever the state says they get 100% of that number. But their kids are also weighted 1.25. So if we have a kid leave us who's weighted as a 1, goes to a charter school, the numerator, we lose 1, the denominator grows by 0.25. So it costs us 1.25 in weighting for a kid to go to a charter school. And that's all public schools. That's just the way that the state is allocating money towards charter schools, which is hurting everybody, in my opinion.
Will that affect our, our weighted, or if our tax base goes down, as Greenwood County seems to do to us here, so now will that adjust our formula? Will we get a higher percentage?
Yes, yeah. So the problem with tax is always a timing difference, right? Because it's always retroactive. Like you file your taxes, a state agency looks at it, distributes money, so there's a timing difference. So that's another issue for our fiscal year 2026. The tax year they're looking at is still 2023. So the state allocation is going to assume we're getting local tax revenue that we're actually not getting. Now the flip side of that is in a year or 2 years or whenever we start getting some more from Teijin or ES Foundry, when some of our local revenue picks back up, the state's going to think we're not getting local revenue when we are. So I mean, in time it will flip the other way, but yeah, for this next year, that is another challenge we'll be facing.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
So next up is safety, Mr. McNichol.
Package, you should have the February 4, primary had 0, had 1 medical call, middle school had 1 with an information report, high school had 1 with a medical call, alternative 0, transportation had a stop arm violation, high school baseball field 0, athletic complex 1, that was an assault report. District 0, it's gonna be 5 for the month, which is down 7 from last month and down 1 from 6 this time last year. Drills and training, like you'll see on there, we did a lot of drills this past month. All schools did their fire drills, which are monthly. Tornado drills, Millsville High School did theirs. Earthquake drill, Middle High School did theirs, semesterly. Elementary school did their active intruder drill. I skipped over fire inspection. Fire inspections, all schools have their fire inspections. You can see the those there. There's the monthly, it's not yearly, so every month we do one. In-house, the yearly one is where the state marshal comes in and does it, their assessment. And then down there you'll see 2 weapons detections from the middle school. Updates and information, fire inspection. I'll put it on here just like I did the state one. So, primary school had, again, they had 44 points on their inspection. The primary school had 33 yeses, 2 nos, and 9 NAs, which, again, the 9 NAs are, that particular point does not apply to them. You'll see an NA for the elementary school. I was not there for that one. Middle school, you have 38 yeses, 2 nos, 4 NAs. High school had 40 yeses, 1 no, and 3 NAs. Of course, they were all given those reports back with their correction sheets, and I think they still have a little time to get those back. On your weapons detections, both of these were at the middle school. We did 1 bus lane on the 4th. There were 97 students scanned, 14 students detected, and a 14.43 detection rate. Nothing was found. The second one was on the 20th. It was in the PE hallway, which is the hallway right outside the gym. 37 students scanned, 4 students detected, 10.81 detection rate, and there was a vaping found. Or vaping found.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
y'all.
Okay, so next up on the agenda is policies. Ms. Kathy Anderson.
Good evening. I just have one item underneath the policy section, and it is Exhibit JICDA, the Code of Conduct. We do not have any changes to the actual policy itself, nor the administrative rule that accompanies this. But each year, we as principals, administrators meet to go over this Code of Conduct to see if we need to make changes in it, because the law requires us to review it annually. So we met in January, and we put together the Code of Conduct that is before you. It starts on page 63 and ends right before, let's see, page 75. There is one real change on page 64, where music devices were added, and how that would be handled in all of the 4 schools. If you look across the top of the chart, it takes the primary and elementary schools together, and then it goes to middle schools and the high. If you look down the left-hand side of the chart, that's the offenses, and then you have a description of what the offense is. Then you have punishment for first, second, and third offense. So I'm bringing this to you tonight basically for informational purposes. It does not require board approval because it is an exhibit, but I wanted you to see it and to know that we have reviewed it, and that it will become our new Code of Conduct, not for this year, but for the 25-26 school year. So this will become part of our board manual with the note that it begins in 25-26. Any questions about the document? Okay. All right, with that being said, if it's okay with Dr. Green, we will just move on into personnel.
Sounds good, thank you.
Okay. So I have before you tonight the teacher and classified employee list. They're by school. So on page 77 is the list of employees for 96 primary school. You have the certified list, then you have people that are certified LOAs. Certified LOA is when you have someone who retires and decides to return back to work. They're given a different type of contract that is called LOA. And then you have some support staff there. Those are your teaching assistants, your guidance secretaries, those type of people, nurses, parenting, etc. So we're gonna take this list school by school, and I'm seeking a motion to approve the certified staff LOA and support staff for 96 primary school.
So move.
Thank you.
A second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we're moving on to 96 elementary. It's laid out in the same way. It has at the top the certified staff, those are your teachers. The certified staff that have retired and decided to come back, or certified LOA. Then it has your classified staff, and that continues on page 79 to finish that up. So I'm seeking a motion to approve the list minus candidate 48.
I make a motion.
Okay?
All in favor? Aye.
All right, and now we will go back to candidate 48, and I'm seeking a motion to approve candidate 48.
I approve. I motion.
Okay?
Second.
All in favor?
I'll recuse myself from the vote.
Thank you, Mr. Carr.
All in favor, yeah.
All right, very good. We have to do that sometimes when we have board members who have staff that are part of their family to employ. They're asked to recuse, and so some of that is what has just happened, just for explanation. All right, now we're on the middle school staff list, same way. Certified staff, certified LOA, teachers who retire and come back, and classified staff. So I'm seeking a motion for Edgewood Middle School staff contracts.
So move.
Okay?
Second.
Favor say aye.
All right. And we're now to 96 High School, same way, certified and classified staff.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you. And last, district support staff would include transportation and food service.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay. All right, so we have one other item for you tonight. I want to bring you up to date with those folks who have retired or who have indicated they're going to retire at the end of the school year, or those that would like to resign at the end of the school year. So we have Miss Donna Brown at 96 Elementary School. She's the guidance counselor there. She has indicated she would like to retire. Miss Terry Hartman, who is a teacher at 96 Primary School, she has indicated she would like to retire. Miss Edith Bryan, who is employed at Edgewood Middle School as a teacher, has indicated she would like to retire. Donna Matthews, who's a primary school teaching assistant, she would like to retire. Doris Loudon, who is the parenting coordinator and does our attendance program, she has let us know that she would like to retire as well. Today, we received a request from Jessica Williams, who is a teacher at 96 Primary School. She would like to resign at the end of the school year. And before we get into any hiring, there are some jobs that are posted out there. There has been a decision that some of these folks, just because they're from a particular school, doesn't mean that their position can't be given to another school who has an increase in enrollment to try to create a position there. So we currently have some middle school positions that are open, ELA, and we have a high school science position that's open. We have also filled this week a food service position. We had a resignation from Lewis Todd, and Dr. Taylor has approved the hire of Pam Collins, which she can do because that's a classified person. So I'm just reporting that back to you. Ms. Collins will start at the complex after we get back from spring break. All right? So as we go forward with this, of course, we will make decisions about what jobs we would like to post and what jobs can be absorbed. And so that's kind of the decision-making processes that are going on now. Do you have any questions for me about that? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, that's all I have at this time. Thank you so much.
All right, if there's nothing else, no other business, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second, yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jenny.
All right, see y'all later.
See ya.